Hey, hey! We're gonna let these commercials kick on, and I will come right back to you.
You want to keep it?
Treadmill
Bye.
Well, current show rate
to
is
get a heart rate up for a significant period of time. Then after the shift, before they go home, same thing. And once a week, have group meetings where they deal with all the stress that they've had for the last week. And I think that would lower the level. Otherwise, this hostility and this us and them builds up, and they start looking at all of us as perks, or potential perks. So if they hang out with each other, they don't hang out with ordinary people. We need to have processes where they can maintain their normal humanity while being police officers. It ain't easy, but we got to do a process to do that. Prevention, it'd be a lot cheaper than all these overtime that these guys are having for these kinds of meetings. It'd be a lot cheaper. We don't have the attorney's fees for lawsuits that people who have been hurt or whatever. It would just be humane and sensible.
And to catch everybody up, we were here with Judith. She is a warrior for justice in Fullerton, and
A lawyer and a mediator and a mother of 7.
so she's been around the block and she's seen some things.
Yeah,
and
I think.
and I had it on.
I may be dangerous, I think.
You're fucking
You're,
dangerous, kid.
you're in the right crowd then, I'll tell you that. You're hanging out with that guy.
AJ, I'm gonna
He's
skedaddle.
All right?
all right.
But give me a call. Yeah.
All right.
I already got great screening.
All right. Thank you, Judith. We appreciate that. Thank
All
you.
right.
Victory pictures rather than.
I'm going in. Later.
Anaheim's back tonight.
Just
How about yourself? Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not doing very well either. Excellent. Yeah, I'm sure. You get away the other day? Yourself? Good. They were right on you too, man. They were right on.
I'm live streaming.
Oh, my bad.
So, no, it's just so you know, I don't care. I'm just letting you know. So you don't say anything.
Oh.
Incriminating, but yeah,
Glad,
no,
you know what I mean?
I did get away, and I'm scared right now that I might not get away. So
Yeah, because they said they were. Yeah.
I'm going in. Ron Thomas.
Everyone has a way of voicing stuff. Mine's just smart. I got my cardiac meetings. Yes, sir.
I appreciate the people so much. You know, I do. I appreciate their anger. I appreciate that they're out here tonight. They're still angry that Kelly didn't get justice, and I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, everyone I've talked to just can't believe how unjust everything is.
The atrocity. I mean, yeah. And so that's why I convened tonight that, look, the city council was not the jury, and they're not the ones that beat Kelly to death. Express your concerns, you know, tell them what you want and don't want. Don't have to be disobedient about it. And I'm glad that people are really expressing themselves all right. A little anger in there, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And we can do this without tearing the place up. So.
My father was chief of police in Buena Park. You know what he had above his door?
No.
Who guards the guardians?
Yeah.
When I was in the Air Force, I was a cop in the military. And we had the same thing, and I sit there and I think to myself, what did, people like me put on a uniform for? If they can go beat a man to death like this? I sit here and I think, I'm a vet. And, I'm in the VA. It's beyond belief. The dichotomy between the country I knew when I went in the military and the one that exists today is night and day. My father's not alive, and I thank God he's not alive to see this. Because I was riding with him one time when I was 18, and one of his officers kicked a guy. And my dad went up and stripped him of his sergeant rank. He was suspended for 30 days, he was fined, and he was put on probation. And he said, you ever do that again, I'll arrest you personally. He wouldn't put up with this. And now we live in an age where I don't even know. I go out there at night, I don't even know what country I'm in.
Yeah, well, I know.
And I hear this from vets all over the country, the same thing.
I had quite an extensive Army background.
Quite
a career myself. Yeah. So I know.
It's just hard to believe.
It is indeed.
God help us.
Thank you.
Still waiting for justice. The fight continues. The fight goes on.
Justice will be granted. They said they're not guilty. They will be. It will come. Their day will come. We will.
Can I slip up on the side?
No, you can't. It's all blocked off for right now. Sorry, you can't come. It's all okay. Thanks. Sorry about that. It's okay.
The audio is messed up in the library.
You can go to library. They have
The
audio.
audio is messed up over there.
Okay. Well, you have to wait outside. I'm sorry.
We're actually allowed to record this?
I have to wait outside. George is in there. Olivia's in there. So the orange stream is live inside. I didn't get in. George's in the house. Hey, baby. Crossbones. Excuse me, ma'am. All right, so I didn't make it in the courtroom. They said it was full. Crap. I'm gonna stick by Ron.
Still doing your movie?
How you doing? Good, man. How are you, brother? Shelter.
Kind of like how it is now. Yeah, so then there's alright, just come back.
You know if I'm in your shot.
We can always know what's going on and stuff like that. So very excited. It's very exciting.
Continuous improvement.
Yes.
Continuous improvement.
Yes. I look at everything that we've done. I look at it as a win. Just like I'm old sports, basketball, football. So I look at everything as a progression.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people say they look at it as well. We accomplished too many things.
We haven't failed. The justice system failed us. Okay, we didn't fail at all. It's the justice system that failed us. And the jurors failed us. And we need to change that. And that's why I need complete support and backing to go to Sacramento and change this peace officer bill of rights. We the people have the absolute right to know when an officer has been disciplined.
Right.
And the disposition of that discipline. Even if they have a verbal reprimand, we need to know about it. Any citizen complaint against an officer, we have the absolute right to know about that. Well, it would be great. And Kelly did not get a fair trial because they went back in his past, but yet by law under the Peace Officer Bill of Rights, we couldn't go into the officer's past. And we know that Ramos beat down this man in a parking lot and crushed his man and broke bones. We know that. It's all there. You know, those types of things. Sits in LA, you know, he's very, very abusive. And his ex-wife even was on film stating she divorced him because of his abusiveness, his physical abuse. But none of that can be used, see? And we need to change that. We the people are going to change that because we have the power of the votes. They have money. I don't care. We have the votes. We have the votes. So we just need a senator to get it up there on a bill, take it to the governor. We need to change that law in the Peace Officer Bill of Rights. We the people need to take back this state. We need to take back this country.
That sounds outstanding.
Indeed.
I'm for it. I'm with you all the way.
Beautiful, man.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you again. Thank you again.
Always.
Really. Thank you. From all of us.
That's right.
Things with the Attorney Justice Department.
So far, it's very good. Very good, man.
That means it is ongoing. Department of Justice knows about it.
Doing that, like logging into your like.
All right.
I appreciate all that.
Hi, my name is Lovely. The thing is that it's a corrupt system. So why am I going to acknowledge power that's illegitimate.
That's right.
And if they said this is democracy and shut off my mics because I had my back to them. Because the first thing they said to us was, we can't say anything to you. We're not going to pass a proposal. We're not going to help you.
Right.
So what sense is it coming here to talk to them? We're just doing an exercise.
That's right.
We're coming in, we're venting, and it pacifies the public. When instead, we're actually all gathered here together pissed off, and we could begin talking about how to really change the community together, because the power's right here.
That's right.
We can talk about community policing. We can talk about not calling the cops unless you absolutely have to.
Right.
Because if you render them irrelevant, and you were a police officer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is going back to the old days where communities just say, these people are too corrupt. We're not going to call them because somebody might get killed. And they had the bad luck of killing somebody that was a cop's son. You know, if that had happened, I don't know that you would have had your son not been your son, had he not had anybody that could come up and be his voice, it might have just passed through. And it happens all the time. Sorry.
And regardless of my voice and the people's voice, it's really the people. There's so many supporters. Without that video and the audio from their own recorders, we would have had nothing. We'd have been like every other family. No matter who we were. No matter.
But they didn't allow the witness video in, right? Which is one of the most crucial ones. You have eyewitnesses right there. Literally, you can hear their pain saying, please stop. And it's just like, those are your witnesses. And it's because it's corrupt. And then they create this false crisis of this man's going to get rehired, which isn't going to happen. But when he doesn't get rehired, you all win a small victory. And it's to distract from still fighting that verdict and from still saying that you just legalized murder.
Yep.
And the only way to stop that is going to be...
Well, those jurors certainly did.
Yeah, I mean, and the cops lied, and they've been lying on stand for years. It's just now it's happening to... it's been happening a lot to communities of color for decades, but now the chickens are coming home to roost. It's going to start happening to everyone.
Well, that's why I have made the bold statement that, and I'm going to do this, change the Peace Officer Bill of Rights to where if an officer is disciplined, we, the people, have the absolute right to know that they've been disciplined, the disposition of that discipline, any complaints from citizens on an officer, we have the absolute right to know. And that's going to help. That is going to help tremendously because they can no longer hide. See, if we could have used that in court, their past and all these kind of things that have been so monumental, they were able to go back in Kelly's past, but not the officers because they're protected. How's that a fair trial? Well, it doesn't need to be fair, only to the defendants. Well, you know what? Kelly's a victim. He's a victim of a crime. He had absolute rights, and they were violated. And I hope that the federal government agrees with that, charges them, and gets convictions on these guys, as they did with O.J. Simpson. I sure hope so.
For you and your family that happens.
It's a victory for all of us if it happens.
I hope that before those rooms are filled with families that have lost somebody, though, that people take policing back into their own hands. Because Joshua Alvarez, who now has 2 bullet holes in his body, who's on life support, a 16-year-old kid, had the family not called the police, this wouldn't have happened. Had they called a neighbor, had there been a phone chain, had there been communities policing themselves.
I spoke at El Monte at the request of the family in El Monte, where they called because schizophrenic son, teenage son, actually wasn't teenage, I think he was 34 maybe. Either way, he was getting out of hand. He was starting to push the dad around. They called out of fear. They just wanted some help. Help us with it. Help get him some help, whatever. They came in and beat him just like they did Kelly. Tasers, flashlights, the whole deal, and he died. And he died. They came in and beat him to death because the family just simply called the police. Because that's what we're supposed to do, right? They're there to help us, right? No. They beat him to death just like they did Kelly.
But what if you call a neighbor that knows you have a schizophrenic son and there's somebody on the list that knows how to deal with people who have special needs, that knows that they might not comply when they are put down, and instead of being like, we just have to get their hands behind their back at all costs, even their life, and coming in with compassion, then we don't have this happen.
That's right.
And they're gonna, and there will be less police officers. And we don't need so many. This is so much more of a civil society than what we used to have. And there was just, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. It's so nice.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Ron, when you go to help get the policeman's Bill of Rights changed, I have a question. Are you gonna bring up drug testing? For any time the officers involved shooting.
That's not part of the
I know, but
Bill
they
of
have
Rights.
no
That's
drug
department.
testing.
That's department policy, and that needs to address here.
To the Bill of Rights.
That needs to be added to department policy. The city can enforce that, and they need to put it on the books that if an officer, it's just like any construction firm, if somebody is in an accident with a company vehicle, they get drug tested. Same thing needs to happen here. That's OSHA. That's OSHA, which is federal law, basically. It needs to happen here, too. Anytime an officer has any kind of vehicle accident, drug test. Anytime that they have to beat somebody down or shoot somebody, drug test. Just to cover the bases. We want to make sure that they supposedly have a clear mind. They're not under the influence of something. Or are they on steroids, or just any number of things. Absolutely. That's the city council meetings to get it into the policies, procedures. That'll happen here. It's not part of the Peace Officer Bill of Rights. See, the Bill of Rights protects them. They're not going to put that in there.
They still gotta take it to Sacramento.
It's up to the cities. I'm telling you, this is the place to do it, is at the city council, and make them do it. Make it an agenda item, and we can get the masses together to support it. Drug testing. Ask Hughes if it's already been done. Probably has not, but start there. Let's find out if it's actually been done or not, and if not, that's a real good one to start working on.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Has
a lot of our-
politics reached out to you, like, as far as Congress or senators?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, the former mayor of Fullerton, Sharon Schwartz Silva, is now my assembly person. Yeah. And so she's got me together with the different senators, Feinstein, and all of them. We're talking about this already. I need somebody that has enough gumption, enough strength, who is not afraid of big money, big power with peace officers associations across the state, and all their high-powered, well-paid attorneys who will actually turn this into a bill and go up to the governor and say, look, this is what we got to do. Will help us fight this fight. And I have every intentions of being up there in the state capitol, speaking with the governor and the senators up there to make this change. And the only way I can make it change is for us to make it change. We need the people. We need the votes. We need the power. I need the backing to make this actually happen.
I try to do it via social media because my son has autism, and I see how he reacts to different people, and he says stuff you can't say that, obviously. And then every time I hear Kelly Thomas, I think, what is that? What if it's him? You know what I mean? It could very well happen.
It is him. He just hasn't been put in a bad situation.
Yeah,
You got to think of it like that.
No,
It's
I
not
agree.
paranoia. It's being realistic.
So what I'm doing is I'm doing it via social media like Facebook, Twitter, because you see these things that trend as far as like Britney Spears, whatever goofy icon they have. But I think if it trends Facebook, Twitter, things will change. We already are worldwide. I have people in Australia and England watching all this stuff and telling them. And they said, what can we do? I said, just repost the video. Repost the video. Repost the video. And even my wife, I said, I don't want anything edited. I just want it straight. I don't want nothing edited.
Well, I use the mainstream media because it gets out to all the
Oh,
people.
yeah,
Not enough
absolutely.
people. There are still people today that haven't even heard of Kelly's case.
No.
Locally, right here in Orange County, they haven't even heard
Or
who's
there's
Kelly
rumors
Thomas.
or whatever.
But the point is, I also have contacts all over the world with support everywhere. Tens of thousands of people everywhere, and yet people right here in Orange County haven't even heard of the case.
Isn't that crazy?
So that's why I use mainstream media. It's on all the channels, starting at like 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news and all of that. That's why I stick with them to get it out. And so I've built real good relationships with them just for that reason. It gets our voice out, the things that we need to happen as people, not just Kelly's case. We talked about it just a little bit ago during interviews, things coming up and what's up ahead. And so, it's all over social media. But until this happened to Kelly, I didn't know anything about Facebook, nothing. My daughter hooked me up with it, and it's helped immensely. But when you get to the middle to upper middle class, white America, it's like, I'm not going to be on Facebook or whatever. They never hear about our issues. So you also need the other outlet. And that's something I dealt with also here in Fullerton. I realized that even though I was able to contact so many different countries and everything else, there's nothing they can do for us except we support you. But they can't vote, they can't do anything. I needed to get, when we wanted to do the recall even, which I wasn't the monumental one in, but nevertheless, how do I reach all the citizens of Fullerton? So I had to deal with their local paper that goes to every single resident, not social media.
I'm shocked the White House hasn't mentioned or did something about it.
Kelly couldn't have been his son.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I think of Rodney King, and when Rodney King, that was, you had the president respond, or whoever, Speaker of the House, whoever it was, and you figure something would be addressed from it. You know what I mean?
Well, you would think so.
Even a blog, a blurb, even a spokesman for the White House via Twitter, something.
Something. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Remember the Bear Summit?
Yeah.
I don't really think that they even know about it.
Well, Jill Biden was supposed to call me a few days ago. The Vice President's wife, the second lady of the United States. That hasn't happened. We'll see if it does.
Is there anything we can do as far as like I don't like using the word protesters. I just don't like using it myself personally. But is there anything?
Advocates?
Yeah, that's liaisons.
We the advocates?
Yeah. Is there anything like as far as a meeting or another setup or anything?
Contact your congressman. Your local assembly people, get in touch with your congress people, senators, and bring the message forward.
For trending, do you want to use Kelly's Army for a trend hashtag?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Or just Kelly Thomas. The name is synonymous with what happened.
Right. Well, cool, man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Question. In the city council, did they mention that an independent arbitrator would review this process?
No, and they really weren't sure either. And that's only if the former officers take it to that step.
So that's all just still.
It's all if this happens, that happens. It would all have to fall in place. They just laid out the steps that could happen.
So the possibility of an independent arbitrator and everything else would be as a result of the civil, like is that post?
Not the civil case. That has nothing to do with it.
Officers actually pushing to get their jobs.
The officers. Yeah.
And then the city council would have the final say after they
They will have the final say. They need a quorum. They need 3 out of the 5 to either say no, we're supporting the chief, or no, we're fighting for the officers, one way or the other. And then from there, if they're denied, they can still sue. But it goes the arbitrator. And the city council and the arbitrator agree, then it goes to a judge.
But that's all. We're talking.
Well, that's the end of the process.
So it gets arbitrated.
Then it would go. That's right. Then to the judge.
That's contingent upon the officers trying to get their jobs.
Well, and I just learned tonight they said all 3 were trying to get them back. All 3 applied to get their jobs back. I think the city attorney said that.
Oh, really?
You need to research that a little bit.
I need to confirm that because I only thought there was.
I thought that's what they said. Anybody else hear that? Okay. I thought I heard that for sure, and that's really surprised me.
I heard you on.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting started about it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I heard you clarify where the host kind of assumed that the protesters were anarchists.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have a picture of Anonymous. And I just want to make it clear that Anonymous is not part of that group. Because I've been following them for a long time in the protest, and they've been peaceful. And I mean, the video that I gave you tells you, because I follow them from Santa Monica all the way up here. And I just wanted to let you know that your son, okay, is a spark. But he did not die in vain because he has.
I won't let him have died in vain. I won't let it happen. But here's what I have to say about Anonymous. From the very first day Anonymous showed up at our protest in 2011, they've been nothing but good people. Nothing but good people. Anonymous has supported the cause. They've supported justice for Kelly. They've conducted themselves properly and very appropriately. And people say, but that's Anonymous, and they do this and that. For Kelly Thomas, they've been very, very good. That's what I got to say about Anonymous.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I was kind of like, because the host.
I know the difference.
Yeah, the host did portray them because they have like a picture of them.
John Cobell, KFI, you know, for John and Ken. He's very opinionated, so.
Yeah. So
call him.
When they assume,
Call him up.
I am going to call him and probably just let him know that the cancer is big, because they weren't there. They weren't here on Saturday. I've been covering it all week since Tuesday, and everything's been peaceful. There was no police until Saturday, and I have copies footage of all the stuff that nobody was getting out of hand. I know there was graffiti, which Anonymous does not, they throw on top.
Yeah,
they're.
No, I got it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no. I'm good with Anonymous.
I am doing videos.
Anonymous has been very, very good to Kelly Thomas. And the family, and us.
Yeah, this project I'm working on with videos. I'm doing, part 1, part 2, part 3. So
very good.
I hope you like it, and give me a call and
I will. Thank you very much.
I'm trying to work with pastors, and I think he's in Washington right now.
Okay, Wally Drake?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Washington, and he's got a good interview.
All right, fantastic. Thank you.
Any questions we want to ask Ron Thomas? Go ahead and text me or type in your questions, or if you're lucky enough to have my phone number, call me, and I will ask Ron questions right now. So either comment your questions or call me and I will ask him a question.
You know what I do.
Are you live streaming?
Yes, we're live streaming.
We'll see you.
All right.
This
thing keeps vibrating.
Oh, because it's telling you stuff. It's saying, hey, you're so popular, I'm going to vibrate.
Okay, cool.
My pleasure, really. It's going to just pick up.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not so locked into the trial, right? I can get back into that a lot heavier and do a lot more with the Kelly Thomas Memorial Foundation and really get that going. You know what? I had to ride this narrow path of the criminal trial, and so now I can do other things and help a lot of people.
Right. Well, you are helping a lot of people, and it's wonderful. Thank you.
I appreciate that very much. Thanks.
Matthew, you met Ron?
I have not.
Matthew, Ron Thomas.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. I knew before I even clicked on it, it would bother me. But I did click on it. It
tears your heart out.
It did, and the equivalent and all that. And we live in San Diego. I alerted all my friends via Facebook, and I was met with silence. Most people seem to be more concerned about what they're eating. They're taking pictures of their food, or they want to know what's in the movies. And Britney Spears, that whole thing. And it's very disheartening to see that kind of apathy. And I think that even a couple hundred people here tonight is really a pretty pathetic showing. It's good to see everybody civilly behaving themselves tonight.
I think it's another reason a lot of people didn't show up is because of Saturday's actions, and the police had to move in. And Kelly's Army is made up of a lot of good people. They didn't want to be part of that in a police action, perhaps, and be misconstrued as bad guys or whatever and get arrested. It keeps them away. I think Saturday's actions by a few kind of tarnished things. But did you drive up from San Diego this evening just to be here?
Just to be here. I rushed from work. My boss tried to make me work overtime. I said, dude, I'm out of here. I got to go.
I've done that drive. I graduated UCSD, and I know the drive in the afternoon. I really appreciate what you did coming down here.
I appreciate you being here. You are a brave man.
Thank you so much. Are we Facebook friends?
We will be.
Okay. Just find me. It's easy. Ron Thomas.
Can I get your maybe a picture with you? Would you be okay?
Well, that'd be fantastic.
Let's get this camera. This is my girlfriend Cheryl.
Cheryl, my pleasure. Hi.
Do I have permission to use you in my documentary?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me your name and say it to the camera.
My name is Matthew Perdue. I'm from San Diego, California. Been a resident there since 1973. I came from San Gabriel Valley and all over before that. Here's the
Have a safe drive back.
Thank you.
It'll be nice to drive back.
Tired as hell in the morning.
Yeah. It'll be a nicer drive back though.
It will be. We did hit some traffic, but you know, it's so worth it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So thank you very much.
I will refer you on Facebook, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good to meet you, Matthew.
You'll be here in Kelly Balloon.
We look forward to it. Hey, Ron. Can we talk for a second?
Yeah.
I'm going to mute this.
Sorry it was muted. We are unmuted. We're back inside. Good hands. And could be wrapping up. We've got Ron's the documentary crew here this evening. Like I said, AJ's having a conversation with Ron right now, and he's off the air. As you can see, the council meeting is still going on. Got a lot of concerned citizens. They want to make sure that this police department doesn't start going back and regressing into its brutal nature, trying to overcome it, but we need to see some real prosecution going on, and we need to see 3 more officers get fired. Really need to see those, you know, just as a good faith measure, we really need to get rid of James Blatney, Kenneth Hampton, and Officer Craig. I can't go far. You got the
Have it
hotspot.
on mute. Is it on mute?
I took it off.
Okay.
People are complaining.
Yep, sorry about that, guys. It was on mute because I had a private conversation with our buddy Ron, and we have got our internet problems all taken care of right now, so expect change there too. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. And the chocolatey.
And I feel like, why me today? I just think of Kelly, what he went through, pricing it right back up. How can I complain about my day, what I'm going through, how I feel? Look what he went through. No matter what happens to me, it's nothing compared to what Kelly went through, and I just get right back up.
This is the thing that I really hated about the trial was how
The defense attorneys?
The most defense attorney. Well, just the way they brought up his past behavior and all this stuff. But I could talk to, all right, my friend at Town and Country liquor store, my friend Betty there, and your son would come in, and I think it was a Coca-Cola he'd buy, very polite, give the money, and never a problem, always so sweet. The times I bumped into him. Very, very quiet, and I'd give him a cigarette if I had one, and he just, but he was polite and nice, and it was just, oh my God, we could have had 1,000 character witnesses come up and say how wonderful Kelly was, and yet nobody got to speak for him, and it just breaks my heart.
Mine too.
It does.
Mine too.
So we're gonna have to keep fighting for this. We're gonna have to. Things have got to change, Ron.
They're going to change. Even if we get slapped down on the federal level, it's not over.
No.
The civil trial is going to bring out their termination letters. They can't hide them in civil court.
Thank you.
They cannot hide behind the Fifth Amendment. They must get on the stand and testify. They cannot hide at all because they will go through depositions. They'll be asked very grueling questions based off their police reports, the videos, the criminal, everything. Everything will become public in the civil trial.
Okay, I hope
that's huge.
That is huge.
Well, and for all these jackasses that are still saying, he just wants $1 million, he's going to bankrupt the city. I just need to remind everybody that when I filed the lawsuit that my attorney did on my behalf, we asked for $0. And it states right in it, if anything is awarded, the jury will determine any amounts awarded. That's it.
That's it. Right.
That's it. $1, well, that's what they decided. So me filing a civil suit just to get money? No. File a civil suit for justice, because that's when all the truth will be brought out.
Yeah, it needs to. It needs to.
And that's why we're going forward with this civil suit in a very aggressive manner, to get it all out.
Yeah.
To get it all out.
We'll just move forward. Okay,
That's what we're going to do.
Okay, will I have your back? Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, Ron.
Very good. That's what I do.
Go home to your wieners. I'm not having wieners.
At least one, right?
I have a pussy. Okay. Don't film me.
I know what you meant. He's filming.
It's live.
Oh, awesome. He's out.
It is election.
Whoops.
Thousands.
Hey, I always see you with Ron. You always got a damn camera in his face
Because
too.
they're doing the...
Yeah, I'm doing a documentary. I lived with the homeless for 3 years in Sacramento, moved into a tent with my camera.
Yes.
I got a call from God to give the homeless a voice, and I said, yes, sir.
Where's that going to be released at?
Well, Ron came to my premiere. It was at a film festival in Monrovia. It's called Searching for Safe Ground. And he came for obvious reasons because half the population that's homeless has mental illness problems.
Yeah.
Here's his son who's homeless and mentally ill, and he's like, oh my God! I mean, we started work on this like 3 days later.
Yeah.
It was just
So it's been released.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it's the homeless project has premiered, but we're still working on a distribution deal.
How do we check in with the how it's coming? Like, how do you get your audience to know when it's going to pop? Where's your website?
Unnecessaryforcemovie.com.
Okay.
Cool.
We will check that out, and we're anxiously waiting for that.
Great. Fantastic.
Vainly, because we might make it in there.
Yes, exactly. What's your name?
My name is Anaheim James.
Anaheim James. I'm Costa.
Coasty, all right, pleasure.
Cool, man.
Got a card.
My oldest grandson was run over and hit by a truck at 17. My younger brother got throat cancer, diagnosed, and died within 30 days. That was in a 9-month period. 3 Thomas dads, my dad, myself, my son, all lost sons in a 9-month period. Started when Kelly got killed. My dad, of course, just died. We still buried him this past Friday. So 4 Thomas dads, 4 Thomases in a 2.5-year period. I've had enough. It's kind of slow
And I have a small video, and I'm going to send it to you personally. I met a nice young man from Ventura County that was mentally a homeless guy that really wanted to come out and meet you one day, and I was just on the street filming. I said, well, I'll film it and I'll get it, but I'm not going to really put it on the web. It's just a nice message from a good kid, you know. I'll send you a link of a private one.
That's beautiful.
But I just want to let you know, I know there's a lot going on.
Unnecessary battles.
Yeah, you don't need to hear it anymore. It's bullshit. But anyhow, you got that other stuff.
Yeah, from not day 1, but maybe day 2. My life's been full of BS from people, you know, and we were just talking about it a bit. From people extorting thousands of dollars from me. If not, then they would go to the press and say I was mean, evil, and all kinds of things. Just trashing me. Well, just recently another one did it. And just all the crap and garbage in the bickering and the childishness and all this, and people who cannot remain focused on the objective, which is always and has been and will be justice for Kelly. You know, I've had failed relationships over this. I've lost friends. I've gained new ones. You know, it's just been up and down constantly, but I always absolutely refuse to go outside these parameters right here.
Bingo, Ralph.
You know, just focus. Kelly is it. It doesn't matter what happens, and that's why I've lost relationships and friends. It's like, you know, call me what you want. Say I'm acting a certain way. Just you have no idea what I'm going through, and I will not deviate from what I need to do for my son, no matter what. And I said it. And I've always meant it. Even if I was the only one man with one sign standing in front of the police station, I would still do that for my son. But I can't thank all the supporters enough. I mean, just so many people have hung in there and genuinely care. Even tonight, some people really got a little, you know, boisterous in there. That's okay. The anger is good. I understand it. I don't mind it at all. I just don't want them hurting the citizens. There's no need to tag buildings and do all these other things. We went all through 2011 very successful with the protests. We were out there basically raising hell and chanting and here. They let us do it. We did it. Nobody got hurt. And we didn't interfere too much. No property damage. There was no damage at all. I mean, there was a knucklehead here and there. So what? You know, and it was all dealt with. We policed our own.
Yeah, we still have that problem, don't we?
Yeah,
We've known people to flow around with all the other families, and it's just they got enough going on, and then they got these silly people getting involved.
Well, you know, the group that I have labeled the haters turned against Mike Leonidas' family.
I know.
The Diaz family.
Yeah, I know.
All the families. Teresa Smith. All of them. All the families that have suffered the loss at the hands of the police. These haters have turned against and criticize them and are violent to them and mouthy to them and disrespectful to them, to include me, certainly.
I know, we paid attention. We were always trying to say, you know, stop hating. You know, it's foolishness, and it just seems like, I don't know.
They have their own personal agendas.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Their own personal agendas, and that's the biggest problem. And the minute I see that is when I want to start showing and letting people realize that there is personal agendas involved, and we've got an agenda here that's much bigger than the silliness. And we really appreciate you, Ron, and we're sticking with you.
I appreciate it.
We're going to be involved. Take care.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Nice to meet you. Are you Kelly Thomas?
Dad?
Dad? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
It's been something else, hasn't it? And then the verdict gone bad.
Well, not only that, I
I don't know. They pulled my feed in there. I was speaking. I don't think you were in there, but me and my child have been a victim of recently a former police officer, and they told me he was let go from the police department 3 months ago.
Okay.
And it makes me want to cry because
Deep breath.
I know.
You're okay.
I came over to Fullerton. I escaped domestic violence from LA County. I came over here thinking, that I would be safe. And this officer, after 27 years, he took advantage of me and made me do things I didn't want to do. And he also put a gun to my head. And he could have pulled the trigger. It was a loaded gun. And he put my daughter in harm's way. And I was in the police department for about 8 hours, another 3 hours, and this one officer really wanted to help me, but he was ordered to stay away from me. And they told me that he would no longer have a badge. He was no longer going to be a detective. And he was let go. But Chief Hughes blames me as it's my fault. But how is this officer supposedly let go? If he's let go, they try to sweep it under the rug, let go for what he's done, which is very, very serious. But then this officer wants his badge back. And he beat.
Where are you at?
I'm at the.
Where are you at? Charge-wise,
Nothing.
charges on this officer.
Nothing. They didn't.
Would you like some help with that? I'll help you with
And
that.
I said I have evidence that Captain left me voicemails and they try to cover it under the rug. They sent 2 officers to my custody hearing because he was very involved and he told them lies and he put my kid in harm's way and he helped a former suspect, my ex-husband, gain custody. And the hardest thing right now is that they don't know where my daughter's at.
How old is she?
11. They just know that she's in Long Beach somewhere, and so now the Long Beach Police Department is trying to locate where her whereabouts are with him, and this police department is trying to say we have nothing, we're not involved, and
Well, you're a Fullerton resident?
I've been in one for a year and a half.
Okay.
And the whole thing is that they've been heavily involved, and it's kind of funny, just so you know, is that the chief, I left him a message, do you know what's going on within your department? I said, do you know what's going on? Because there was only one officer who helped my kid. And it was a lieutenant, and he's been in contact with the Long Beach Police Department. No, the missing persons over there at the Long Beach, I've been on the phone with them all day long today. And it's so hard because they're trying to cover for their own.
Right.
And they put my kid in danger. So I don't have any help. And
Yes, you do. I'll help you
that's
with
why
this.
they pulled my feet.
I'll help you with this.
And I understand just so you know, my father was homeless. He was homeless. And he died from a hit and run. And people, it doesn't matter if they're homeless or not. I was homeless for just about 2 months from domestic violence. I was in my car. It should be anybody, you don't do that.
Indeed.
So I wanted to be here,
Okay.
They were recording me. They're behind
That's
you.
okay.
That's why I said hi.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Because I'm going to help you here. All right? I want you to contact me. No. I want you to contact me. And we're going to get a hold of a senior investigator of the district attorney's office who will look into this. I guarantee it. And we'll go from there. All right? So I'll get you my information.
Okay.
Thank you. We'll get a pen over here and write it.
I'm check in right now with courtroom. How's it going in here? How's it going, guys? All right, Zeke's in there talking. We'll just archive all that stuff. I'm gonna stay with the action. I'm like really antsy, so to go sit down would not work. Yeah, exactly, Liberty Sons. Random victim of a PD. Ron's gonna help her, so she's no longer a random victim. She is in good hands. That's the Justice Papa right there. How's it going, guys? You guys out here Saturday for the peaceful protest? Were you guys out here? Did you see the peaceful protest on Saturday? Didn't you hear about that? Your police department militarized against us. You didn't see that? Hear about that? Oh, okay. Sorry. Continue what you guys were doing. Apologize. That's the cold shoulder, ladies and gentlemen. She's got help now, News Storm. She's on the take care of list. Just kind of giving them a little private chat time. Scrolling into the... Yeah, thank you, News Storm. Thank you. The name of that movie, the title, yes, Unnecessary Force movie. Ralph Silva nailed it. He wins the chicken dinner. Walking on the ceiling. You know how we do it out here. Boom. I muted it because we're talking business that the internet didn't need to hear, but they will definitely feel the wrath of. Kansas, got you. I will tell him when I talk to him next. Bakersfield, yep. Bonus, waiting for it. Jess Y in the house. I'll tell Sweet Leaf, Justice, and Nikki. Yeah. Hey, Ron. People on the internet, they're asking, what can they do? What can we do? We're armchair warriors. We're stuck at the computer all day long. Give us a job.
The job is, when it comes time to go to Sacramento for the Peace Officer Bill of Rights to get it changed, vote for this change. Contact your congressman, contact the senators, contact your assembly persons in your area, and let it be known that you're supporting this change of the Peace Officer Bill of Rights, because we the people have the absolute right to know when any officer has been disciplined and the disposition of that discipline, to include any citizen complaints against an officer. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to change, because we have the right. It could have changed Kelly's case and many others if you can bring in their past, their violence, their reprimands to help us all as citizens.
Cool.
That's what we need.
We will do that 100%. We will, whatever we can do, and we will start our letter campaign immediately.
It's crucial.
Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Are you going to be stopping by Kelly's Corner or anything tonight, or is this about wrapped it up?
This wraps it up.
All right. Thank you.
I'm living off of 3 hours of ice.
Hey, one more thing. Is there another peaceful protest planned anytime soon?
I have no idea. I didn't plan this one, so we'll just see what happens on the internet. If people coming out, beautiful.
Will you, if one seems to be getting momentum, will you get behind it and sanction it or something?
Always. Always. The only thing I don't sanction is violence.
That's right. We're a peaceful group.
That's right. Take care.
Thank you. All right, guys. think we're about out of here, Duke. You wanna wrap us up?
What do you want me to say? I believe that I should have prepared a better speech. I didn't realize I could have gone in there and then get called up. But
You just reminded me. Did we get any speeches read from the internet? Did those get read?
yeah, but I don't know if she's been called up yet because I don't know where that woman is. If she's in there, I don't know. I don't know where she went. I don't know where she is. I didn't meet her here.
All right. Well,
I was
there's.
supposed to meet her here, but I can't get in there. So
You can get in there now if you want. Now it's open. There's a. But to be honest, my arm's tired and I got my ride waiting for me. So I think we're going to watch the rest from the internet.
all right. Do you have time to?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's do that.
All right.
Let's do that. We will leave these guys behind. We love you guys. Thanks, guys. Got a peace sign from him. That's what I'm talking about. Respect.
Justice for Kelly Thomas.
It's respect out here. Love. These guys right here got $1 million equipment boomed up into the air. For what? For what? What are they going to do tonight? Not broadcast the truth? It's a great scam you guys got there.
It happens a lot, actually. Because if you're restraining somebody face down...
Crossbones X, sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to give a shout out to you and your live stream. You can always find the truth there. So
Thank you. You guys did great on Saturday, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you guys.
I don't have a card.
All right,
Just Cross X
Steve, Mr. Sweetleaf, finish up.
I think that's about it. Well, officially speaking, we were going to be doing a radio show this evening. You still want to do a radio show for a half hour when we leave? Well, when we get back, we're going to be, we'll tweet it. We had scheduled a radio show for 8:30, but we may have missed it. I don't even know what time it is right now, but we could go do a little aftermath and give people the opportunity to call in.
We're gonna have a number. Yeah, we'll have a number. We're gonna pop on the live stream first before we do the radio show to let everybody know.
Yep.
Because
check in on our Facebook site. You know, inLeaguePress, our community page.
I'm gonna call the boss right now.
People's Press. And look for the update. Look for the update on Twitter. We'll update you on Twitter and Facebook when we bring up the radio show. But what we want is we want to hear from you, especially the streamers. We want to talk to you. We want to hear about your thoughts. We want to hear about problems in your areas that you're that are going on, much like this. And if anybody out there is with the Occupy Sandy group that's camped out in the front of Christie's house, I would love to talk to you too.
Yeah, I'm right here.
That's it for the stream this evening. Keep your eyes posted. We'll keep posting the events on the Facebook page and the Ustream page as we need to cover them. And of course, we do cop watching often, so that will just come up as it goes, and you'll just see tweets. Oftentimes, when there's an unannounced stream, that'll be because we're doing some type of protective measure at that moment. All right, you guys, thanks. On that note, say goodnight to our friend George and AJ. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you all soon. We appreciate you. Yeah. And watch for the radio show. Bye.